Time now to head into the Birds Lounge. Sit back and get comfortable. Joining us here on the couch is John Clark. JC, we appreciate you being here, bringing your knowledge. And John, Nick Foles, going to be the Colts' backup to Matty Ice. Couldn't get more Philly in that quarterback room. But you like that landing spot for him?
Absolutely. I mean, he's reunited with Frank Reich, and Frank kind of coached him up. Remember Doug Peterson telling the story that he went and looked at all of the best plays of Nick's time, the offense that they ran, and said, okay, let's tailor the offense around him for the Super Bowl. Doug was involved with that as well. It's crazy, though, to think about all the places that Nick has been. I think his overall record with the Eagles is 24-12, including the Super Bowl run. It's only 8-16 with all the other teams that he's been with. So don't know if he's going to have much success, but Eagles could be facing Carson Wentz at home in November, and then the following week go to Indy. Matt Ryan could miss a game or two with injury. Could that be the time that Nick Foles
Can you imagine that?
plays against the Eagles?
Can you imagine that?
That'd be wild.
And it's crazy to think he almost was thinking about hanging him up, and now he's on to another team after the Jacksonville Jaguars. But an ESPN report said the Eagles were involved in possibly bringing Foles here back to Philly. What do you make of that, John?
I mean, I think Howie Roseman does his due diligence on everything. I mean, he definitely checked in on Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. They probably didn't want to come to Philly.
Why?
Because you look at every situation. You look at every situation. Why not? They're happy with Gardner Minshew, obviously. If they wanted Nick Foles, they could have gotten him. So they obviously didn't want to bring him back more than having Gardner Minshew as their backup.
Well, I don't know if they're really happy with Gardner Minshew. In all actuality, I think that there may be a little, uneasiness as far as growing into the season with him being there. I mean, they brought in Carson Strong. Carson Strong was he was a top 5 quarterback in his draft, so he's a really good quarterback, and he's going to be competing with Minshew. He has the size, 6'5", 6'4", cannon of an arm. He is, challenged as far as, moving around.
Undrafted, though.
Undrafted, but still, though, he's a really good quarterback,
And, John, you look at this Nick Foles situation and even the Gardner Minshew connection. Gardner and his dad, one of the most viral moments from last year's season, right? When they linked up in the parking lot.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, I went out because I said I heard Gardner's dad was there, but I didn't know that is what we were going to see.
Right.
That's a cool relationship. I
Absolutely.
mean, we don't want to act it out here, but I mean, there was some pushing and shoving, and I love that relationship.
Yeah, all right. There was a column over the weekend from Marcus Hayes of the Philly Inquirer, and its sources say that Howie Roseman is totally running the show right now without any input from ownership over at the NovaCare complex. What do you make of that, gentlemen?
I think it's been like that. He has had a lot of power as far as going forward in his decisions to go out there and pick who he wants to pick, draft who he wants to draft, put money where he needs to put as far as bringing in and giving a team that compete in the NFL. So I think he's always had that autonomy. The owner loves him, so why wouldn't he?
There was such a power struggle when the Chip Kelly era was here, and we thought Howie Roseman, his days were numbered, and suddenly he's right back at the top of the heap.
Well, you know what? He built a Super Bowl roster when they won it in the second year of Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz. They had some down years, even though they made the playoffs, and then you had to get out from under the Carson Wentz dead cap money because Carson wanted out and you had to trade him.
I still can't believe that happened.
It's unbelievable. But they have rebuilt this team rather quickly, and it's so impressive to see on offense when you've got guys that are 23 and 24 years old at your skill positions. And Jalen Hurts is the same age as these guys. So it's not like Jalen Hurts is coming in and you had a Deshaun Jackson to defer to when he first came here. You're looking at a situation where he and the other guys, they're bonding together.
Yeah, the same age, all those guys the same age. They're going to grow up together. The two that, A.J. Brown and you look at, what they're going forward. He has 2 extra years on these young guys, but still, though, they're exactly the same age. Yeah. I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't.
He's 23.
So, I mean, it's crazy that these guys are going to be able to develop, build a cohesiveness, some camaraderie together, and grow as a team. That's what you want. That's how, I hate to say it, but that's how Dallas did it back in the day when they went out and got Emmett and, all those guys.
Michael Irvin and Trey.
Same thing with that offensive line they had, that they built there. Same exact thing here. I think we're going to win more championships.
And by the way, the question you were asking about Howie Roseman has always been in charge since Chip Kelly left.
Absolutely.
Howie Roseman's been in charge. Jeff Lurie even admitted if there's a tie with coaches, personnel, Howie Roseman, maybe I'll jump in and break the tie. Right. He's the owner. This is his #1 job, unlike some other owners who have other businesses, and it's his team. So he's going to get involved when there's a tie or something like that. But Howie Roseman listens to everybody, and he makes the final call, and I think that's the way it's always been.
Yep. Hey, over the weekend, the Eagles held their Autism Challenge, and we caught up with Jalen Hurts on the team coming together both on and off the field.
This team is building a culture of doing everything together and really connecting and being on the same page and getting to know one another. And I think when we have opportunities to be a part of events like this, I think it's very important. You know, so you see Smitty, you see myself, you're going to see Mr. Leary, coaches out here, running back coach, special teams coach out here riding the 50K. Like, that's what it's all about. You know, it's all for the city, it's all for this team, and it's all for the community.
That event raised over $4 million for the Eagles Autism Foundation. A great event and a great cause. Just tremendous what they've been able to do for autism. And John, this team seems to be coming together well, right?
There's a good vibe, and then a bunch of Eagles all went up. A couple private planes to the Boston Celtics Heat series.
Yeah.
Boston, Jeff Lurie has been to a couple games up there. So you see them building chemistry and being together. And similar ages, I think that helps. And everybody has always talked about Jalen Hurts and his leadership.
Yep.
And how even when Carson was here, Jalen was drafted, they said he just walks around the room like he's the guy.
Right.
So let's hope that he can take that next step, because he's got all the intangibles with leadership, and these guys follow him.
Yeah, you know, they don't have the problem with that. He's going to go into every situation. He'll be that guy. He'll be the man. But it's not just being in the classroom, being outside. You got to go ahead and prove it on the field. And he's done that. He's shown that he can do that. So, I mean, I think that he's, you know, the sky's the limit for this young man. And he's going to take and grasp every opportunity to make sure that he's the best player he can be, regardless of what everybody else says. He's going to be the best player, the best Jalen Hurts he can be.